Hey everybody, Brink here. We're back for FDL week 4, and we are against Pikallo today, and the Piccolo's Paradox. His big threats that I prepared for the most are Torkoal, Mimikyu, and Amoonguss. Altogether, they make a pretty threatening Sun team with Trick Room. And then his other possible Pokemon are Sandy Shocks, Slowking, Magnezone, Weavile, Lycanroc, Midnight, Heracross, Sawsbuck, Altaria, and Elamomola. First up, we've got the Grey Tusk with the Focus Sash and the Terra Grass. Has the Photosynthesis, so would be able to take advantage of the sun. And then it's running Earthquake, Headlong Rush, Close Combat, Protect. We've got the Terra Grass to help avoid Spores or Rage Powders from Amoonguss, as well as dodge Hydro Pumps from Slowking. Next up, we've got the King Gambit with the Black Glasses, with Defiant, and he is Terra-type Fire with Sucker Punch, Kowtow Cleave, Iron Head, and Protect. He's going Terra Fire in case the Mimikyu is running Will-O-Wisp. We don't want to get burned. And then we can just Terra out of any fighting moves to negate that weakness. Next up, we've got Dragapult holding the Light Clay and Cursed Body. We have an Eevee to always outspeed a non-scarfed Weavile, and then it's running Late Screen, Reflect, Helping Hand, and Shadow Ball, just being a fast support mon this week. Next up, we've got our biggest Torkoal counter and Colossal with an Assault Vest, and running Flash Fire with Terra Grass, with Heat Wave, Earth Power, Power Jump, and Solar Beam. Most standard Torkoal sets won't even be able to touch Colossal with this set. Plus the Terra Grass gets around, again, any Rage Powder Spores from Amoonguss. So that's a pretty good counter to the main threats. Next up, we've got the Gardevoir wearing the Safety Goggles with Telepathy and Terra Psychic. And then it's running Calm Mind, Protect, Psychic, and Dazzling Gleam. Again, running the Safety Goggles to avoid Spore and Rage Powder. Plus, it allows it to freely set up a Calm Mind in front of the Amoonguss. And lastly, we've got the Stonejourner with a Utility Umbrella, with Power Spot, Terra Rock, Wide Guard, Body Pressed, Rock Slide, and Protect. It's EV'd out with the Utility Umbrella to always live at least one Earth Power and one Eruption in the Sun from full health from a Torkoal. And with that, we can get into the games. It looks like he brought Slowking, Magnezone, Weavile, Mimikyu, Sandy Shock, and Lycanroc. So we're just going to run out our Dragapult to set up screens, with Gardevoir to lead, with King Gambit and Grey Tusk in the back to deal with any threats. He did not bring the Torkoal or the Amoonguss, so a lot of our prep was not really helpful here, but that's alright. Then we will see how we do. So turn 1, I'm thinking that he's going to go for Fake Out and Trick Room, and there's nothing we can really do to stop it, so we're just going to get up his screen and then Protect to block the Fake Out without giving out any damage. opponent did not go for the fake out like we expected. He went for the icicle crash, but luckily we got the reflect up, which saved our Dragapult there. And then here we're just going to Helping Hand and Dazzling Gleam to try and get as much damage off with our Dragapult on the field before it goes down to this next icicle crash. The Gardevoir is very bulky, so it can take that Hydro Pump with ease. We get the Sash, and Dragapult goes down here. With the Weavile at 1, we bring in the Great Tusk. Because Trick Room is up, we can Terra Grass to avoid any Hydro Pumps, and then just go for an Earthquake while setting up a Calm Mind. And we get to set up our Gardevoir a little bit while also picking up Elusive Kill on the Weavile and doing some good damage to Slowking. Slowking is going to crit us and do quite a bit, but luckily we Terra Grass, so we live it. Get the Calm Mind up for free, and then this Earthquake should, again, will kill the Weavile and do a decent chunk to the Slowking. Opponent brings out the Mimikyu, so we are just going to protect our Great Tusk, expecting a Shadow Sneak and Dazzling Gleam the Gardevoir to break the disguise and take out the Slowking. The Mimikyu bounces our Gardevoir out with the red card. So then we get our King Gambit in on the switch. Mimikyu going for the Phantom Force isn't the worst thing because we already know that it is more than likely going to go to the King Gambit. So we just stay in this next turn. And then his final Pokemon is Lycanroc. So we just double into the Lycanroc because we know that we're not going to be able to touch Mimikyu and Ironhead, and then you can pick up the Mimikyu following this. Our opponent terrestrializes Lycanroc into a pure rock type, but it is still going to fall in one hit to the Iron Head from the King Gambit. Trick Room end, so we know that the Mimikyu is going to be faster. So we get the Sucker Punch off. And then it's going to Phantom Force, so we won't be able to kill it with Great Tusk right now. The Mimikyu will kill the Great Tusk when it comes back, and then we will pick up the Mimikyu with the King Gambit to end game 1. Moving into game 2, we are going to change up the lead here. We're still going to lead Dragapult, but we are going to lead it aside our... I think we lead it alongside our Great Tusk here. And then we bring... and then we bring Colossal and King Gambit. We may even lead Colossal. We do. We lead Colossal along with Dragapult, and then we bring King Gambit and Great Tusk in the back. So our opponent leads the Weavile and Slowking again. And this time we are going to use a light screen instead of a reflect first, because we have not seen Fake Out, so we don't really care about the chip from that. And then we're just going to go for a Power Gem on the Weavile to get it down to Sash. We considered terrestrializing to Grass, but we decided against it to hold our Terra for late game, and then we do commit the Power Gem just to break the Weavile's Sash and get it down to 1. Because we got that light screen up, our Colossal is able to live the Hydro Pump, so we are able to get the Weavile very low. And then I should have gone for a Helping Hand here, or just a Power Gem or something to guarantee the knockout, but I got greedy and went for the Reflect and the Heat Wave, and end up not picking up either KO while losing Dragapult to the Ice Shard. And then I believe Slowking misses the Hydro Pump here, but we missed the Heat Wave on the Sneasel, on the Weavile, sorry. So here we go out into King Gambit. We just go for the Kotao Cleave into the Slowking to take it out, and then we attempt to go for a Power Gem into the Weavile to take it out as well. But unfortunately, the Weavile goes for a Night Slash and takes our Colossal out instead. Now we are down to our last two Pokemon while our opponent brings in the Magnezone. I Terrestrialize Kingambit here into a Fire type, worried that the Magnezone might have Body Press, and I didn't want that 4x damage coming at me. And then I protect the Great Tusk to protect against a potential Terra Blast flying from the Magnezone as well. But our opponent Terras, it is a Fire Terrestrialize, so he can try and go for a Terra Blast onto my Kingambit, but unfortunately for him, I also Terrestrialize into a Fire type, so it will not do very much. Here we just double into the Magnezone with Kotal Cleave and Headlong Rush. And then we end up, our opponent misses the Icicle Crash on the Great Tusk, and then we end up picking up both KOs here because Headlong Rush takes out the Magnezone, and then the Kotal Cleave will finish off the Weavile. Right here I am scrambling to find a different controller as my battery dies on the controller that I was using. Then our opponent brings up Mimikyu for their last mon, and we just double into it with I think we do Sucker Punch. Yep, we Sucker Punch it to break Disguise. And then we go for Headlong Rush into it. We break the Disguise with a Sucker Punch. Our opponent lands a Play Rough on the Great Tusk, but it's not quite enough to knock us out, and then we just KO it on the Crackback with the Headlong Rush. With that, we won the match 2-0. GG, well played to Pikallo. And I hope to see you guys next week for week 5. Thanks again. Have a good night. Bye.